Hey guys, it's Chase Harmon here with Spinnaker TV. I have with me the Charge Party candidates for President and Vice President of Student Government. Could you guys please introduce yourselves and tell me a little bit about who you are?
Yes. Hello guys, my name is Selma and Darryl. I'm a first-gen college student. I'm actually a junior studying political science, and I'm your presidential candidate.
Hey everyone, I'm Darryl Boyer, Vice Presidential candidate for the Charge Party. I'm a junior, political science major, marketing minor, and a leadership minor.
All right, sounds good. So what made you guys decide to run?
I'll go first. The reason why I decided to run goes past myself. It's the idea that I am very passionate about helping people. One thing I live by and adhere to day by day is human is human. And that's all I really care about, is making sure that no one has to struggle. They are inevitable. Struggles are inevitable. But at the end of the day, doing what I can to make sure I can minimize those struggles and be that person there for others, no matter if it be as a friend, as a leader, as a person supporting them, a cheerleader, whatever it may be, just making sure I can help people as much as I can while I'm on this earth.
To piggyback off of Selma, I think that, our whole platform, the three core values of you, your home, your future, are so vital, and they cover pretty much everything that's important for each osprey to be successful. You matter, diversity, like diverse thought is very important, and that's sometimes neglected. Diversity is more than just what's on the outside, but what's on in here and then also up here. That really defines a person. So having a good heart and a good head on your shoulders. And I think having leaders that represent a community with a good heart and a good head on their shoulders is very important.
Okay, so if you take office, what is the number one issue that's on your agenda?
So as Darryl mentioned, we do have our three components: you, your home, and your future. The one that I would want to tackle first is definitely you, because without you, we wouldn't have your home or your future. Being a first-gen college student and a transfer student myself, I really wanted to make sure that everyone was represented, because I remember when I was in those positions where as a freshman, I wasn't involved with anything because I had no one to reach out to. So definitely getting that First Gen Connect program that I really want to work with Dr. Karen Patterson, Ruth Lopez, and making sure we have student leaders that reach out and anyone else wants to get involved and be mentors for those First Gen college students, even with just UNF. Because me, myself, transferring from in-state university to university, I realized how different every university is themselves. So anyone that wants to get involved with this program needs help, needs a path to follow. Definitely instilling a program where no one feels like they're a step behind their peers, because I felt that for a year long.
Okay, so that's your number one issue. What are some other policies you'd like to put in place?
Definitely with more of your home, making sure everyone's inclusive, making sure everyone feels represented. So having gender neutral bathrooms, which goes from you in your home, because there are some on campus. I had a little lounge with the Women's Center I was involved with, and they told me there are a few, but they're not really accessible and they're not really out there. So making sure we have gender neutral bathrooms so students feel safe and they don't have to feel obligated to adhere to gender norms. Having your home, so making sure we have a 24-hour study nook, 24-hour library. Definitely we understand that we don't control the funds for that, but advocating for it, going to lobby, which goes into your future. So going to the Capitol, having Date the Capitol, lobbying, fighting for bright futures, which is currently under attack, and making sure that we have everyone get a chance to an equal opportunity.
Okay, so you talk a lot about diverse representation being a big part of your platform. How are you going to make sure that all of the students in the student body are accurately represented through student government?
Darryl can answer this one. This is one of his biggest things.
Yeah, I would say putting personal interest aside. To be a diverse person means that you have to then accept people that aren't like you. People that come from different walks of the life. You may look the same, but you may have been, raised differently. To exemplify myself, recently I was just, cyberbullied for being raised conservative, but that doesn't mean that I fit the stereotypes of a conservative person of being, racist, anti-LGBT, and, stuff like that. That doesn't mean that, somebody is like that. And I think, putting those personal things that you think about people aside and just really accepting them for having a good heart and a good head on their shoulders really goes a long ways. And I think you can better serve people when you are more inclusive of people that aren't like you. Because at the end of the day, to represent the student body, there's hundreds of students that aren't the same. You have to then put those interests aside to say, you know what, you're like this, you're like this. How can we communicate with all the different types of people or ospreys on campus to effectively represent and serve them at the end of the day.
Yeah, and exemplifying that through our ticket, like Darryl is, like you said, a Black conservative, and I am a very far left individual myself that comes from a country that was under the structure of socialism. So it's the idea of, disregarding real politics, because it is a hot topic right now, and it has been more radicalized as days go on. But it's to show that we're disregarding political views. It's that we are here for the students, not for politics. We're here for the people, the humans on this planet in this university.
All right. That is very cool. So how did a conservative and a liberal end up on the same ticket?
I can answer that.
Okay.
So we got onto the same ticket because those personal things about us don't affect our relationship, and they don't affect our work relationship when serving other people. And a lot of people use differences to bring down other people or to bring other people up. That's not okay. It should never be accepted or tolerated. And I remember when I first met Selma, I was the elections commissioner at the time, and there's tons of students that were, coming in and out of my office for help. And I met her in the elevator actually, and she was like, "Oh, I want to get involved. This is my first day of school." And that was like the first student that I ever got to actually help get involved in student government. She wanted to learn more about the elections process. I told her about the elections process, showed her around the rotunda and the third floor. And having that welcoming connection with a person that's serving students and a student is so important. And I think that, from there on, it was just a very humbling feeling to know that, I helped somebody get involved. And that's what, all leaders should do.
I looked at Darryl as a mentor because even though his elections office was all the way in the back of the student government floor, he had an open door policy. And I didn't feel like my personality, my boldness, my drive, that's why I made the Charge Party, like take charge initiative, be bold, be out there. I didn't feel really understood. I felt like people thought I was very sassy, and that is me, sassy Selma. But at the end of the day, I felt like I really couldn't connect with anyone the way Darryl did, because Darryl, he laughed with me. He made sure that he knew he was my friend before anything else.
All right, that's cool. So what kind of legacy would you guys like to leave?
Personally, I really want to leave I don't care about a legacy. I just want to leave this way of being a student leader. I don't care if it's associated with me whatsoever. The idea that human is human, that is, like I said, 3 words I really live by, because nowadays, yes, we do associate with groups, what your music genre is, your favorite one, how you dress, the car you drive, the things that make you you. But take all that away and we all bleed the same blood, and we all, have the same unit that makes us human. It's the idea that regardless, we are a community, we are ospreys, we are one's neighbor. It's making sure that we can feel safe with one another, and just the biggest thing is my biggest thing is human is human.
Okay.
And then I would say, I really want acts of kindness. I want people to feel welcomed. I want people to feel like they can be themselves. In recent history, recent events, we've seen that, being yourself, not being accepted for not being like certain people is not okay. I want everyone to feel like you pay a lot of money to come to campus. Your home, it's your home at the end of the day. You should feel welcome. You should be able to embrace your differences, be who you are, and at the end of the day, not be judged or bullied, from your differences.
Okay. And I believe this is the last question. Why are you the number 1 choice compared to the other 2 tickets? And do you have anything else you would like to say for closing?
So coming from a moment of realization I had during this election season, that I've had this perspective all along, but I kind of got sidetracked because the adrenaline of running and being that person campaigning out there with the party, I finally came back to realization that I'm doing this to be a selfless person. It's not a selfish position. You have to isolate anything that you have with your personal opinion to make sure that the students are heard. I have made personal connections with students from different organizations. I have made friendships, and I know friends who I've known since we were toddlers here at UNF, and they're still just seeing them be my classmate and peer, and just success is the one thing I want to see people do, whether it be succeeding with your mental health, making sure you're okay and thriving, making sure you're not hungry, making sure your academics are doing well, because without having your mental health thriving and without being fulfilled with food, you can't succeed at academics. And it's the idea that I just want to make sure you're okay. But disregarding all this, elections will end. Yes, they end, but life goes on. And regardless of who wins, it's the idea that I will still be there. And the only reason why I want to run is because I feel as student body president, you do have more opportunities and access, and you are more respected by the faculty and staff and the boards to be heard. And I want to make sure I'm heard, and that I'm not, oh, we can reschedule a meeting next week, something like that. I don't want that. I want to make sure that I'm respected by the faculty and staff to make sure the students are heard and be that person that's not really a student leader, but just a friend that's helping them out.
All right.
And then I wanted to add on, I wouldn't say that we're the better ticket. I don't think there's a better ticket. I just think we're the most relatable ticket. Students, when you're representing people, you have to have that connection with them to where they can feel like they can express concerns with you so that we can better serve them. And also communication. People want to be able to feel comfortable to communicate with people that are serving them. So when you listen to them, because as a leader, you have to be able to listen. You want people to listen to you and listen to your ideas. And when you bring down a group or organization on campus, how are you supposed to represent the entire campus when you're bringing down somebody? When you bring down another student, you ultimately are bringing down a community on campus, and you can't be an effective leader to serve the student body when you're bringing down organizations or group on campus.
Yeah, and I will say that the amount of I would say this is the one selfish component of running is the amount of bliss and happiness you feel when people feel like they can reach out to you and ask for help and get things done. Like, I've had people reach out to me, hey, I know you're running, let's talk about like line bikes on campus or electric scooters to rent and things of this nature, that I feel so much joy knowing that they have faith in me to actually do these things and have drive. And I want that to continue. I want to make sure that the relationship I form with these people, with my now friends, that it doesn't go away. I want to make sure that I will get these things done.
All right, that's super cool. Well, guys, I'm about to stop the filming, but if you could hang out for just a minute afterwards, that'd be awesome. Again, elections are tomorrow, so make sure you go on, check out the student government website for information on how to vote, and you can watch the debate from last week on our TV channel here. Again, I'm Chase Harmon, and thank you for tuning in.